Good evening and welcome back to the Rising Super Oh no, DK Challenge, that's still going. Damn it. Didn't think this would pop up. DK Challenge is still ongoing, but that is actually not what we're doing today. Good evening and welcome back to the Rising Super Stream where we are playing Game Boy games. Actually, we're going to play more than just Game Boy games. We're also going to play two Game Boy Advance games today. This is a, I don't know, series or whatever that I've been wanting to do for a while. You guys know I'm a fan of Nintendo's stuff, and I like Nintendo's subscription service right now. I think it's very good value for money, considering how inexpensive it can be, and I like the retro platforms that they support and the cadence they support them at. I also kind of like the randomness of the drops. I think there's a funness to it, but I understand why some people don't like that. I have long felt that if I ever went back to doing videos, I would love to do little videos covering some of the retro titles as they release, because a lot of people don't know a lot of these games, and I think it's kind of fun to explore a variety of interesting games and share that with everyone. I'm sure if you guys remember the streaming days, we played a lot of weird stuff. I believe we did a full playthrough of Toy Story on the Game Boy. I believe we did a full playthrough of Turok 2 on the Game Boy. This is really right up my alley, and I very much like this sort of like, let's just dive into what we've been handed and see how it goes kind of vibe. So I guess without further ado, I would like to start that. We're actually a couple days late on this one. I would have liked to do it sooner, but hey, on July 7th of this year, Nintendo released 5 games onto the Nintendo Switch Online Nintendo Classics program. 3 of them are on the Game Boy, so we have Jaleco's Fortified Zone, we have Kemco's Sword of Hope 2, and we have Nintendo's Wario Land. Super Mario Land 3 or Super Mario Land 3 Wario Land. You do that however you want. Actually, I'll hit the details button. Yes, look, Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3. Thank you. Don't do that however you want. Do it that way. That's what Nintendo wants from you. They also released 2 Game Boy Advance games. You'll have to forgive me. I forget the exact name of one of them. Dr. Mario and Paneldepon or whatever. Hang on. I have a tab open. Dr. Mario and Puzzle League, excuse me, for Game Boy Advance. And then exclusively in Japan, they also released Tomato Adventure, which is a really nifty game that I've only ever seen footage of and commercials of, that is basically the precursor to the Mario and Luigi series. As I mentioned, that one's only in Japan. So if you have a Japan account, which is free to make, you can download the Game Boy Advance app for free, and you can use your subscription from your regular account to play it still. That's actually the setup I have here. I have my my North American Game Boy Advance app and my Japanese Game Boy Advance app from my other account. So yeah. Anyways, we're gonna just go through these games one at a time, and we're gonna take a quick look at each of them. I think we're going to start right here with Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3. I don't know that I want to read all these descriptions. I think it's probably fine if I don't. We're just gonna get right into it. Wow, that really gets right into it. That didn't even have a little boot screen that was just like a Nintendo logo. Although I guess the Game Boy would have taken care of that back then with its boot up. Cute. That's such an adorable little boot animation. I didn't remember that at all. Okay, so Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3. What is this game? Back then they made Super Mario Land for the Game Boy, which was a weird Mario game that is frankly divisive. I don't love it, but I played it a bunch as a kid. Then they made an incredible Super Mario Land 2 on the Game Boy. If you've never played Super Mario Land 2 6 Golden Coins, you gotta play that. That game has the most insane bossa nova beats. And the last Spoilers, but the last boss of that game is Wario. Wario was introduced in that title. And if I'm not mistaken, if I back this up a little bit, when Wario raced on screen there, he had his little Wario cap that you see in older designs, and then he swaps it to his to this cap. I believe the Wario cap, like this general appearance, was in Mario Land 2, although it might have actually had horns now that I think of it. It's been a while since I finished that game. Anyway, so this is like an interesting sort of bit of a development genealogy there, where like this, just like how Super Mario World is like Super Mario World 2 is a Yoshi game, Super Mario Land 3 is a Wario game. Intriguing. I know it doesn't mean anything, but I always find it funny when people debate like what counts as a Mario game, and these two games are inevitable wrenches in that conversation. We're gonna go right in. I've played, you guys might know that I'm a big fan of the Wario Land games, but I actually have hardly played this game. I did not have access to this one as a kid at all. I started at Wario Land 3, actually. 2, I have like played even less. But I bought a copy of this game, I don't know, 6 or 7 years ago, and to my chagrin, at a certain point very early in the game, it just stops, the cartridge just kind of stops working, and I never bothered to like pirate it and like continue. So I'm very happy to finally have this on Nintendo Classics apps, because I would like to play through it. I've played 3 and 4 in Virtual Boy, so, which, by the way, if we continue this series, we won't really be able to do the Virtual Boy games. Hadn't really occurred to me. Yeah, we got the tackle. We got these weird blocks. I don't know how I feel about these blocks, honestly. Having faces like that, like, I don't really get it, honestly, why they went for blocks like that, but hey. It's interesting how, oh wow, oh man, so yeah, I wanted to call him Baby Wario for a sec. I always find this design of Wario really funny. He looks so shrimpy. His hair, the way his hair regresses too, like, he looks like pretty much a completely different character is my feeling. Can I do this? Yeah, there we go. Get garlic, of course, to get big. Establishing that early, way before the Wario World, way before the Game and Watch. What series? Way before the WarioWare series. Garlic was a thing. Can I make this jump? Perfect. I always loved how in the Wario Land games, Wario, like, they take care to acknowledge that Wario is girthy, and he has a considerable size, and that just walking into an enemy does bump them over. Whereas Mario would stand no chance. You walk into a Koopa, you eat damage. I always found that very charming. It really, really sets Wario aside as like more of like a bruiser character, you know what I mean? I'm guessing that this is a trap from above that would land you down there. And this song's a banger. The Super Mario Land team was really cooking back then. I see. So not a trap, but you have to, I mean, I guess it's kind of a trap. You have to, oh wait, I can't ground pound. That's true. So I guess I need to throw an enemy, maybe, if I want to get there. Does that work? No, yeah, of course it doesn't. I don't have a charge throw or anything. I'm actually not sure how you get down there. Don't worry, we will figure it out later. Or not. Yeah, I'm really hopeful that those rumors that there might be a new... Oh, there's our horns, yeah. So I think he had the horns in Super Mario Land 2 when he appeared as a boss. I can't quite recall, but... Oh, now can I charge? Now can I do a ground pound? Okay, now I can do the ground pound. There we go. We have indeed figured out how to get there. Okay, what do we got down there? Anything? Heart. Hearts in this game. So hang on. So we have coins and we have hearts. I don't remember this at all. I guess coins probably contribute towards lives and maybe are spendable. But it almost feels like hearts, like the language of collecting hearts should be lives. Because it's certainly not health. Health is garlic. These are like 3 parallel currencies, and frankly, it feels a little unnecessary, but I'm gonna give the game time to show me why they need all these currencies. Demonstrate it to me, please. The shoulder tackle feels so good, honestly. The speed at which he goes at when he does it. I feel like this is instant death. What are you supposed to do here? There must be a P-switch to turn those into blocks or something. No P-switch? Dang. How do you get across there? Horn Wario can't just take it. No way. And like, I don't want to use save states to check it. I guess I should just check it. Let's just check. Let's just check what happens with Horn Wario. There's no way. If I eat a death, this is what I deserve. Ugh. Yeah, kind of thought so. We're not damage boosting across there. Huh. There must be a P-switch somewhere to make that happen. Do we gotta start the whole level again? Okay, well, we are gonna cheat. Bam. You didn't see nothing. You didn't see shit. I promise you I won't do that again. At least I wouldn't do that. My feeling on using quick saves and stuff, or I should say, the way I think I tend to use them is I tend to use them in situations like that where I feel like I'm experimenting with something. That's like unclear to me if it's gonna be safe or something, but I don't tend to use them when it comes to like fighting a boss. Recently we of course did the DK challenge a little bit, which was super fun, and I made sure that I fought K. Rool raw to the end, and that is how I like it. Okay, so we get 2 picks of minigame, a coin minigame, I guess. Let's go with right. Incredible. For a sec, I was like, wait, did he not get that? Okay, so that doubled my coins. Oh, so I could leave. So I'm risking it. I'm risking something here. I don't know what I'm risking, but... Does it double me again? Does it double again? Oh my. I feel like I should bounce, but we're gonna go one more time. Incredible. Insane. So you had 3 plays, okay. Hang on, I gotta sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Oh man, I forgot they had a treasure screen and everything all the way back in this game. I always love that in the Wario Land games, like just collecting the treasure and stuff. Just a nice little layer of like things to do on top of the basic Mario formula, you know? Okay, so the coins are immediately cashed out as treasure, so I guess I don't have to worry about maintaining those at this point. That's nice. And let's head right back in. Can you leave? Can I just leave? Yeah, okay. Anyway, like I was saying before, I like using save states as like ways to check things that are like kind of unclear to me. But I don't really like using them as like cheats to get through levels. Though, to be clear, you should do what you want. If you enjoy using them as cheats to get through levels, then like by all means. It's not as though I don't use those sorts of features. Like recently in the Mega Man Star Force collection, they added a feature where you can run and it just sort of doubles the speed of the game. Yeah, we got hats in this game too, by the way. And boy, I'm using that run feature all over the place. The pace of that game is somewhat grueling otherwise. Oh, I cooked myself. Damn, man, that's harsh. That's just like the old Mario games, though. Getting hit brings you right down to like regular Wario, just like regular Mario. Also, shoutouts to Wario having this stupid little mohawk when he's like this. If they make a new Wario Land game, I would love if they brought this design into 3D. it feels so alien compared to who Wario is now and his like visual identity as has been cemented in frankly mostly the WarioWare games. But I would love to see this little scrunt Wario represented and brought back for a new generation, for a new era. He's kind of cute looking. Right, so the mole before showed us that we need a coin for this guy. Still don't know what the hearts are for that I'm collecting. I'm assuming, like I mentioned before, ooh, almost got myself. I'm assuming, like I said before, that the hearts are, yeah, it was a good idea. I'm assuming that the hearts are like you get a life at 100 or something, but still not totally sure. Can I? Yeah, we can do that. That's fun. Cool thing about this game, like picking up enemies is like a fucking big deal. Like that wasn't really something you got a lot of on the game, on like Game Boy titles. I always admire Wario's like tackle as a combat maneuver as well. You think back to like classic attacks that characters were using in sort of 8-bit games, and it's largely like body extensions or extensions of the body. So like, you know, Link has his sword, Mega Man has his little pellets that come out of his Mega Buster, Simon's got the whip, etc, etc, etc. I said etc, but I want to keep listing things. Contra has gun, Metroid has gun, Trojan has sword, you get the idea. Anyway, but Wario just being like, nah, just bump the body in, charming. I think that's cool. It's not something that was being done super often back then. Like, really, you'd have to look at, like, games like the Ys games, where, like, bump combat was a thing. That's cool. Really cements him as having a somewhat unique identity. So, have I read that right? There's 2 exits to this stage? I gotta say, that is not something I remember at all about this game, having, like, multiple exits. If those actually lead in different directions, that's fucking awesome. And this game is also way more interesting than I realized. Now, I still do need to find one of those coins, though, don't I? Or a mole who has the coin, I guess. What does the pause menu look like in this game, by the way? Oh, nothing really. It just expands the UI. I guess that C under there. See, I have lives, coins, hearts, time, C. That must be continues? I don't know. I don't know what C stands for. I also do not know what that power-up is right there. What is that? This suspicious item that turns you back into regular 2-tile high Wario. Who, by the way, is not called Super Wario, right? Like, Mario is called Mario when he's only 1 tile high. And then he turns into Super Mario when he collects a mushroom. But Wario... I don't think Wario is called Super Wario, is he? God, I'm not actually sure. Oh, wait, we have the fucking air tackle now. God, I forgot about this. This lets you float, right? If you mash A? No, okay. It only lets you do the air tackle, which is still great, frankly. I thought it was like in Super Mario Land 2, there's like a bunny item that lets Mario float if you tap A. Although now he gets to jump super high. Okay, there's that door from before, actually. The power-ups in Mario Land were also really good, frankly. Okay, so I have this hood. Also, this seems to make you move faster, jump higher, everything. This power-up seems sick. So I have this hood. So there was a platform kind of in this general direction. Wow, you can go really far with that. That's pretty dope. There's a platform like up here. Can I? Oh yeah, I should be able to reach it. But what for? I'm running out of time. What do I do here? Like, am I just gonna fucking lose the level? Yeah, invisible blocks. Yeah, I get it. Is there one over here? No. Dude, am I just gonna lose the second level in Wario Land because I don't know how to find this fucking coin? What do I do? This is so embarrassing for me. Only slightly less embarrassing for you guys, but you do have to witness it. I can probably speed back to the last door, but I don't know what good that's gonna do me. What am I missing? Was there an invisible block somewhere up here? And here there... Oh my god, you pick this up? How do you pick this up? How do you do this? Ground pound? This looks like it should be the coin. Oh my god, you have to like hold up and I pressed B? Like I held up to put his hand up and I pressed B? I think I can make it. I think I can make it, thankfully. This power-up feels sick when you're trying to speed along, by the way. The level of freedom in Wario's movement in this game feels quite unparalleled compared to other Game Boy games. Like, I feel like only... Okay, no, that... Fuck me. Fuck me, I guess. We're just gonna redo this level too, I suppose. At least I know how to do it quicker now. Time's gonna run out, and that's gonna be what it's gonna be. There was no invisible block up here, man. What's this for? This platform. I feel like it should be for something. Death. Off-screen death. Oh, that's cute. Never seen that before. Okay, let's rice it up. Oh, look. Oh, so it's a checkpoint. And it let us start at the checkpoint. Okay, well... That's great. But... What do I do? Yeah, I remember I went down there. I got all the coins. You're already checkpointed, so there's... Oh, look, it actually makes a sound now. Oh, wait, no. When I hold up and I press B, it makes a sound, but why? What for? Oops. Man, you can really move while you're ground pounding. What is that? You guys know what it looks like, but... Okay, so again, we find ourselves at the end of the level. And there's this duck here that I must have killed the first time around. What do I do? This feels ridiculous. I think I need to look this up just for the sake of not this playthrough, this video getting even more embarrassing. Okay, so I looked it up and it was unfortunately slightly unintuitive to me how this worked, and I think that was not super unreasonable. I think this is something that if you had the manual on hand, you would understand immediately what you're doing. But I mean, have a look. This is what I did with that checkpoint too, but I didn't really realize what I was doing. What I remember earlier, I was pressing up and B and it was making a little ba-boom sound like you can't do that. It's because I didn't have 10 coins on me. When you have 10 coins on you and you hold up and you press B, you put coins in your hand. That's how that works. We didn't need to game over. We didn't need to lose a life. We had money. But I didn't realize. I don't think I missed a prompt or anything like that, like a tutorial. I think that was just a knowledge gap there. I actually can't go in the heart minigame. I guess I can go in the coin one, but it doesn't seem like there's going to be much benefit for me this time, given I only have 4 coins. But yeah, I wonder, does the game actually tell you that in any capacity? Or do you just have to figure that out for yourself? Also, is it possible to lose this coin minigame? I can't believe I've gotten 5 50-50s right in a row. 6 50-50s right in a row. I assume there is a loss state, right? Because 5 in a row is like what? 50%, 25, 12.5, 6.75, 3.2 something, 1.6 something. That's like a 1.6 something % chance of getting 6 of those in a row. So pretty good odds captured on video right there, if I'm understanding this correctly. Okay, now that we know how to throw money, let's get on with it. I think I mentioned this before, but just in case I didn't, that was how I activated that checkpoint as well, was by using the power of money. Oops. This really, oh my god, that really pulls you down. Okay. Really don't want to get in that. I sort of assumed it would be more like water. Let's do it. Let's race it up. Guess I can't do anything against spiny enemies while I'm this specific Wario. So I can't get this. Oh yeah, I can't ground pound anyway while I'm this Wario. It is odd that you don't have the ground pound as this Wario. Like, it feels a little wrong. Can I hit him back? Yeah, okay. Back's good. It feels a little wrong not to have ground pound. Oh, I also can't tackle right now. Oh my god. Oh my god, this is terrible. How do you navigate this? What am I doing wrong? Okay, you really gotta mash is what it is. So actually it does act like water. I want to get that item now that I'm small. Oh, that's so satisfying. Getting sequential hits like that. Game Boy games, like, the cool thing about Wario Land, and like, you really have to follow through the games on the Game Boy maybe to appreciate just why it's so cool, but like, the first Mario Land is like, it's kind of fucked. It's not great. It's really short, which I don't really consider to be a flaw, but a lot of people did. It's got some neat bosses. The world of the game is just not the Mushroom Kingdom, which some people hate. A lot of people didn't like that back then, or so I'm told. I was like a fucking baby when it first came out. But like, fundamentally, it just doesn't 100% feel like Mario. Swapping out the Fire Flower for the Power Ball power-up is also just kind of weird. I'm not sure how I feel about that either. Mario Land is just a kind of weird Mario game that I don't unambiguously think is great. It has its strengths, the music being one of them. Mario Land 2 felt like an incredible response to it that made it so much more Mario-y, but it still has its own identity. It has a lot of unique power-ups that don't appear in like the regular Mario titles up till then. And it has an even more banger soundtrack, like actually insane good soundtrack in Mario Land 2, which carries forward to Wario Land, and eventually Wario Land 2 and Wario Land 3. But to me, the biggest thing that you see as you go through them is like just a crazy evolution in ideas of like what you can do on the Game Boy. The first Mario Land is like perhaps impressive compared to some of the earlier attempts at bigger games, like the first Castlevania game on... Oh, look, there must be a secret exit or a secret something up there. How would you even get up there, though? Super Mario Land is perhaps a little impressive compared to, like, the early, like, Castlevania on the Game Boy and stuff, but it kind of pales compared to Super Mario World and more advanced titles, and people, I think, maybe got the impression based on it that the Game Boy is just very limited. Kind of unfortunate having Land coming out early on the console's life cycle when it's like actually capable of much more. But I think Land 2 showed that, like, yeah, you can do a reasonable amount of stuff. But then you hit Wario Land, and Wario Land is like, innovative by any standard, not just like as a Game Boy game. It's like this idea of Wario as like a big body character exploring these huge maps. He can move, in some cases he can move faster. He has a much more robust moveset. Oh look, we finally missed a 50-50 by the way. He has a much more robust moveset. And like critically, his ability to like pick up and manipulate enemies is like huge and unique, and like not something that video games were doing by and large. You know, there was Kirby, but as I say that, I'm like, wait, did Kirby actually come out before Wario Land? Let me actually look that up. I got my computer on here. Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, January 21st, 1994. Okay, so yes, I do think Kirby had come out at this point. Kirby had come out a few years. Kirby came out March 24th, 1993. So these games actually came out only like 11 months apart, actually. So there's an argument to be made that they were working on the same fresh idea at the same time, which is pretty crazy. Obviously, Wario wasn't the first game ever to incorporate like moving enemies around and stuff like that, but it really like it really used that mechanic quite wholeheartedly. Oh shit, this level. I remember this level. Oh man. Good gimmick, honestly. Anyway, you look at what they did in Wario Land 2 and Wario Land 3, which were basically on the same hardware. Wario Land 2 also on Game Boy. Wario Land 3, Game Boy Color exclusive. Game Boy Color is more powerful than Game Boy, but you know, I think fundamentally most people will agree that Game Boy Color is the same generation of console. Nobody's really out there saying that Game Boy Color was the Game Boy 2 and Game Boy Advance was the Game Boy 3, you know. Oh! You know, that's so funny. Evidently, I remember this level, but I don't remember everything. How embarrassing. Anyway, you look at what they were doing on Wario Land 2 and eventually Wario Land 3, and it's crazy that, like, a development team within the span of, like, 7 years or whatever was able to ship 6 successive titles like that iterated strongly on each other. Mario Land 1, 2, 3, and then Wario Land 2 and 3. Sorry, 5 titles, not 6 titles. God, I wish I could count. And like you look at what they were doing in Wario Land 3, and it's just insane how they could go from that, how they could go from what a lot of people considered a quite disappointing Mario game to like Wario Land 3, what a lot of people consider to be like a crown jewel of the Game Boy and like a really, really strong platformer by any standard. I still find that just like an insane like generational run, you know, like you just don't get that kind of thing anymore. I mean, like even back then you didn't get that kind of thing, you know, like five entries on a single system. I'm gonna eat that hit. Oh, it did knock me back a little bit. I wasn't prepared for it. Fucking cook myself. Do it again. At least I get to start as Super Wario, or whatever he's called when he's like that. Yeah, if you started this level as Baby Wario, you wouldn't be able to progress, right? You'd actually be able to... You'd be stuck. Because he can't break blocks. It's kind of neat. I hadn't really considered that. I don't believe that's a factor in any of, like, the Super Mario Bros. Titles. Like, they're all made so that, in theory, you could start as Mario instead of Super Mario, and you could still succeed. Okay, let's see if I can actually get this. I doubt you can tackle the bats, because they lead with their pointy tail. But even if you could, that feels really dicey to do, honestly. Because like Wario will just shoot himself off the platform. This first one wasn't too bad because you have enough time to just do that. I think the last bat that comes with that power up, I think I'm just gonna forgo the power up entirely. I'm just gonna jump on top of the box and call it a day. Darn shame. Oh, damn it. I was outplayed. You gonna go? Yeah, not gonna do it this time. This level has really kick-ass level design, by the way. This is great. Like, it's really like a straight-laced auto-scroller. Not doing anything insane. But again, when I compare it to like Super Mario Land in my head. Another thing this game really improves on Super Mario Land 2 was like Super Mario Land 2 took to heart the criticism that Mario Land levels were too small. Oh, what do you do if I just let you go? What's your end for this level? Do you just go up to the spikes? And he's gone, and he goes through the spikes off to heaven. Anyway, whoa, could you ride him through the spikes? Can I do that? Can I, or would the spikes instant kill me? Okay, yeah, you instant die off the top of the screen. We're not gonna do that. For a second, I was like, wait, damage boosting off the screen? Do we got secrets? Anyway, Mario Land 2 responded to Mario Land 1 criticism very well by making levels like really like big and like there was a lot to explore in them. But the thing about Mario Land 2 levels was sometimes you could really get like lost in them. The camera was so zoomed in on Mario that like you couldn't always see how tall an area was. And there ended up being like lots of like empty zones with like sort of nothing going on over there. So one thing I find impressive about Wario Land in that regard was they were able to make levels that feel bigger, but that use space in a much more restricted way than in Super Mario Bros. 2. Like, they were designing levels... Fuck, I shouldn't have gone for it. They were designing levels that are, like, fundamentally a lot smaller than Super Mario Land 2, but they're also a lot tighter, and, like, there's a lot more interesting interaction going on. Whereas a lot of Mario Land 2, like, you can get the bunny ears and, like, just fly through the levels. So, yeah. That third level has a little dot on it, so I imagine there's a second exit or something. Though that is true, we saw at the exit there was like another exit. There was like an upper path or something. There must be a way forward there, I guess. Anyway, it's crazy to me that, you know, they could start with the first Mario Land that has such kind of nothing burger level design, and then Mario Land 2 made the levels huge, but kind of too huge. And then this game actually made the levels smaller, and that made it better? Hang on, let me toss you down. Let me toss you down, please. They made the levels smaller, but also better at the same time, which is crazy. That's a real achievement in level design, frankly. Don't love that. Right. One shot. Okay. Be careful this time. But making the levels both smaller and more interesting is insane. And then Wario Land 2, like I mentioned before, I'm not all that familiar with it, so I don't really know that I can comment on how it fits into this puzzle. But Wario Land 3, like, the levels flip to being these, like, big open spaces with, like, puzzles that you can solve non-linearly, like strong Metroidvania elements where you have to, like, return to levels with power-ups you get later. Wario Land 3 really just goes crazy, honestly. And the levels are suddenly huge, but unlike Mario Land 2, they don't feel pointlessly huge. Like, there's a lot going on. Can I get all these coins? No, it's too dangerous. I shouldn't do it. I'm just gonna play it safe. There's a lot going on in Wario Land 3 levels, and it's like a really impressive achievement when you look at like the genealogy of these titles, starting from the first Mario Land. Oh shit! I thought that was attached to the platform there. Okay, so there's a... Oh, right, that's just a checkpoint, right? That's not an actual exit. Can I? Yeah, okay. This enemy had like a helmet on, so I was a little scared to attack, but hey. And actually, as I think back on this, I think my chronology may also be confused, because I realize it's Super Mario Land 1, 2, 3, but there's also Super Mario Land 1, 2, 3, and then Wario Land 2, 3, but there's also Wario Land Virtual Boy. Where does that one fit in again? Is that after 2 and before 3? Virtual Boy Wario Land is a 1995 game. Where do the other ones fit in? Yeah, okay. So Wario Land, Super Mario Land 3, this one, 94. Virtual Boy Wario Land 95. Wario Land 2, 98. Wario Land 3, 2000. Man, that's crazy. Game Boy games still coming out in 2000. But I remember I got Wario Land 3 new that Christmas. Me and my 2 cousins, we all got Wario Land 3 because my grandma somehow had tremendous taste in buying games. Truth be told, she probably just, like, she went for the Nintendo first party stuff, but being able to clock that at all, frankly, there were probably ads for it, but what do I know? I was only 8 at the time. Anyway, that's true. So the team also made Virtual Boy Wario Land within that generational run. Insane. If you've never played Virtual Boy Wario Land, by the way, you should. It's really good. You can, on 3DS, if you hack your 3DS, there's a really good Virtual Boy emulator called Red Viper. I highly, highly recommend it. It's super... Wow, great. Good stuff. It's a super good emulator. I guess I must be able to jump on his head, considering I can no longer... Didn't like that. I can no longer tackle. Oh, geez. Maybe I have to jump on the underside. Can I jump on his head? Oh, that looks unsafe. That looks really unsafe. We're going to do it again. We're going to go again. I'm going to run it back. Am I running out of lives? Hang on. Am I running out of lives for real? Anyway, go pirate Virtual Boy Wario Land on your 3DS because it kicks ass. Oh, fuck. But you can also now, like, officially get Virtual Boy games on your Switch. Oh! Darn. I guess I must have hit the projectile that it made. You can also get Virtual Boy games on your Switch, which is insane if you buy that headset. I actually still don't have that headset, unfortunately. Even though I really like the Nintendo Classics programs, I just have not had $100 kicking around to pick it up yet. I'd really like to get it at some point, though. Anyway, Virtual Boy Wario Land really, really kicks ass. So I have a easy time recommending it. It's definitely the crown jewel of the Virtual Boy library as well. Ever since that 3DS emulator Red Viper came out, I had the pleasure of playing the full Virtual Boy library. And, well, frankly, there's not a lot on there that's really worthwhile, but Virtual Boy Wario Land kicks ass. Okay, I'm gonna go for the tackle right away while he's standing. Yeah, free hits. God, I wish I knew basic game design so I could dodge that attack. We got this. Guys, we got this. Have faith. Only one life left. If I get a game over, that'll be the perfect place to stop. Okay, I'm trying to focus up here this time. But I will grab the hearts on the way. Actually, I'm not sure if this P-switch is... Not P-switch, exclamation switch. It doesn't have a P on it at all. I'm actually not sure this P-switch is optional. Because otherwise you can't actually jump over there, right? I think you have to get that. Okay, we got this. Let's get our cheap hit in. And we're going to back up so we can anticipate. Amazing. It'd be great if that shell just pulled back a little bit when it was about to launch. If it did a little draw back just before, starting to shoot forward, I think that tell would be really good. I wonder if I can throw him when he's like, amazing, incredible. Now I can't tackle anymore. Oh, phew. Okay, only 3. Thank fucking God. Oh, shit. These go off screen. That's fun. That's fun. This is fun. This is a great little micro experience there. Or should I say micro game for Wario? Coins. Let's try the heart minigame. Can we do that yet? The A course, the B course, the C course. Hang on, is this golf? Is this like in Wario Land 3? Let's start with C course, the cheapest one. Bombs. Whoa, I don't know what this is at all. Damn, okay. Gotta get the meter right. Incredible. I wonder what the rewards are for each bomb you land. This is interesting because you have to not overdo the power meter, but also you have to actually legitimately anticipate the enemy. It's a weird balance of hitting a power meter on time and also like an enemy who's moving. Okay, I see. Wow, so you get a full 1-up if you land them all. The rewards really scale like crazy. Shoutouts to Wario's 1-up icon in the bottom left being like a fucking... It's almost like Doom guy in the classic Doom. Just a fucking amped up freak Wario. Sadly, still did not find a real treasure. Cute. Mount Teapot. Well, I think this will be a perfect spot to stop. Unless Mount Teapot is in some way revolutionary. But I doubt it. Yeah, that looks about right. Cool, there's bombs. I actually didn't know that. I think my copy of Wario Land... I think the bit where it doesn't work is somewhere within that first world. Because I feel like I don't really remember that first boss enemy, but I'm not 100% sure. I really like, by the way, how Wario goes into this cave and emerges through the water. You see like his half-body sprite in the water? Like it shows only the top half. That's really charming that he literally like swims through. I really enjoy that. Can I quit from here? No, we can only start levels. Okay, well, we're gonna just assume the game is saved as you'd hope. And we're gonna move on to the next game. Yeah, there we go. We're good. We're gonna move on to the next game. And for you guys, the next video, which is Fortified Zone. This is a fun one that I'm actually really fond of, so please check that out.